What up, y'all? Big Reid here, showcasing and highlighting dope artists on the rise in the music. And today we are joined by the Bay's own Sophia RB. What's up? We got people in the background that like whisper statements. You hear them? You're back there. How you doing, homie?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
It's all good. First radio
I
interview
know.
ever. Are you nervous?
I'm a little nervous, but it's with 997, so it's the place to be, and
Right,
you guys are family, so
for
I'm so
sure.
happy to be
Like
here.
we've known each other for a while.
Really long
I
time.
think I'm not sure exactly when we first met. I don't know if you were still in middle school or if you were in high
I
school.
was definitely in middle school.
Word.
It was during like my fangirl era. I had like a fangirl era where I would like just follow the radio station, call in for tickets. I would go to the shows. I would follow all of like the local Bay Area artists like on the come up. And now getting to be here is crazy.
That's
So.
awesome, dude. I mean, you participate in like high school takeovers. Like you're
Oh
you're
yeah.
through and through a true 99.7 now listener,
Oh yeah.
part of the
I don't know
family.
if you remember during the takeover, I like went over and I like hung out with you for a little
Yeah,
bit,
I
and
remember for sure.
it was
In the
great.
city, man, we're in Mission High, right?
It was Lincoln,
Lincoln.
Lincoln High
I
School.
can't mess those up because that's gonna be beef.
I know.
I don't know why I said Mission. I don't know why I was on top of my head, but yeah, definitely Lincoln. 'Cause I remember getting lost trying to find a parking spot,
It's
and
big as hell.
yeah, for
Two
sure.
two city blocks, I think is
That's
that they
crazy.
take. Yeah, it's a really big
So
school.
let's talk about you getting your start in music, how you like began to do that, but like what are some of the things you did leading up to starting to record your first music?
Yeah. Well, my family has always been very musical. My mom was a dancer. My stepdad was a DJ. He actually grew up like when he was around my age, he would go around the clubs in SF and DJ. So I always had like a good idea of like what I wanted to do when I was really young, which was great. And I just started kind of networking, going around, and like again, like my fangirl era really helped me because I got to make a lot of connections, meet a lot of people in the industry. But I started working with a local recording studio that's all women engineers, women owned. It's called Women's Audio Mission. I started there when I was around, it was sixth grade summer, and I was like 12. Um, and they helped me with a couple projects. I did a bunch of covers. I just kind of started like diving into the audio engineering and the production side.
Yeah.
Um, so with the more time I did it and the more I like dove deep into it, I just kind of dove straight into the audio engineering and production and kind of like put the singing to the side for a little bit because I wanted to just explore more career paths. And obviously, singing is always something that I wanted to do, but it always kind of seemed like a long shot. And I never knew how people would respond to it, but it's been great. And yeah, I love doing it.
For sure. So during that time when you were a part of the Women's Audio Mission, you were already singing, but just like on your own
Yeah,
time in your own space and different things like that.
yeah, definitely.
That's what's up. Who were some of your early inspirations? I know that's such a cliche question, but you
No,
haven't done a
no,
bunch of
thank you.
interviews yet, so
No,
in the
I think it's a
first.
great question. I have a lot of them, but I think that probably Frank Ocean, SZA were the artists that I discovered during like the turning point of like this is the type of music that I want to make. When I was like conscious enough to be like this is something that I can expand on when and grow on because a lot of the stuff that I used to like I don't really gravitate towards it anymore. But those are two artists that I've liked for a really long time that I still relate to a lot, definitely.
For sure, I think I saw on your IG you were barricade for Frank Ocean for Coachella.
I waited 11 hours in 98-degree weather.
Yo,
Uh huh.
that had to be hard.
You
First
know
of all,
what? Everyone asked me, they're like, was it worth it? And I was like, it was worth it. He came out an hour late. It was a controversy. There was this whole thing.
I was watching
Um,
on TikTok live at the time. I was
yeah,
like, yo, like,
because he didn't
yeah,
do the live stream. Well, the thing is that we had no service at Coachella, so we had no idea what was going on the entire time, and we got there right when the gates opened. So a lot of people thought that he wasn't performing anymore because people heard that the live stream wasn't. The security guards knew nothing, so we were just like, we're gonna stand here and hope that he's gonna come out, and we didn't know till maybe like the last 30 minutes.
mm,
Um, but he came out, and it was great, and I got to see him live, and I could say that I got to see him live before I died. So
Yeah.
that's all.
There
That's
you
all that
go.
matters.
All right. I know
Yeah.
you're really big into going to shows because you're
Yeah.
barricaded at a lot of spots. Like
Oh yeah. They're
you still
like
got that fangirl
people.
spirit in you.
Always. People think that like I do stuff like or like oh do you have connect? No, sometimes I do. Sometimes I know people at the events, but most of the time it's just commitment.
Oh yeah.
It's just
I'm
a
not
lot of
mad at that.
commitment.
So you dropped your first single, "Missing You." We played it here at 99.7 now.
Yes, you did.
DJ Tussie dropped it in the mix on the air. I've shared it with people in the building that's giving you a lot of love. Well, you haven't heard it yet from them directly,
Mhm.
but they've definitely liked the record. They definitely liked the music. I've shared it with a bunch of people. Talk about the process behind putting that song together and finally getting to a point where it's like, yo, now I want to put out music.
Right. Well, I started doing an internship at Studio X, and I actually met Karina. Karina is the owner of Studio X. I met Karina during my time at Women's Audio Mission when I was like 12, 13. She was an intern, an adult intern, and I was a kid, like a student kid intern. And I just kept connected to her like throughout the years because she's always also been a huge inspiration of mine. She's helped a lot of local artists in the Bay. I love her music as well. So I found out she was building her own studio like a couple years ago and always kept up with it. And I recently got old enough to be able to apply to it. And I've had a lot of free time, so I was like, I want to go in and see if I can get better at the audio engineering stuff. That was my main goal. And then the environment just kind of inspired me and motivated me to like just get out there and send it because I've had a really hard time with like criticism and like feedback because I don't ask for it a lot just because it's something that I would always push to the side. But with the environment that they created, I feel like I was more open to like want that feedback and like to show people what I can do. And yeah, I started an artist development camp with them, and I started the song, and it was just a time in my life when the lyrics were very relatable, and it was a very quick, easy song to write. Uh, and yeah, everyone kind of just encouraged me to put it out. I had a show that they asked me to do at the end of the artist development camp, and that was when I was like, this is the time. And that's when DJ Tossie heard this single and just took off from there.
For sure, because I don't know if I got a text that night or if it was probably like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know when it was, but I got a text from Tussie. He was like, "Yo, Sophia's dope, bro. Like dope, 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 dope." And just talking about not only how dope the performance was, but how much support you had and how many people were in there screaming and going crazy for you. How much family you had in there. Talk about that because a lot of artists, sometimes when you're kicking off a career and you're getting started, even though you've been doing this for a while, like you're really into it now. Talk about having their support because sometimes artists don't get that. They're like, "Yo, I want you to go to college and do this, and I want you to do that, and you need to do this, you need to get a job." Like, talk about actually having the support from your family and how that makes you feel and how it helps with your journey.
Well, it's been amazing. I'm actually really glad you brought it up because these people, I mean, that night was crazy because I didn't expect for that many people to show up. I remember Karina came up to me at the beginning of the show and she was like, "You have a lot of people that got tickets tonight," and I was like surprised because I didn't think it would happen. And just like the sharing and like people listening to it has been amazing. But I think the thing that is great about it all is that the people that have known about me wanting to make music have known for a really long time because it's something that I've always wanted to do. So I got a lot of messages being like, "This is what you always wanted, and I'm really happy for you," which was great to hear, which meant that there were people that were waiting for me to, have the courage to just do what I love. And then the rest of the people that like just showed up and like it was just great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a moment. You
Yeah, it
remember
was a
that
moment.
forever.
Definitely.
For sure. And then, like, you had another moment where you're in the car and the station you listened to growing up, you know, your songs on. These are the same station you called in for tickets for. You know, like you said, you've gone to our concerts. You found new artists through the station. Now you're that new artist that we're playing, and people are
I
discovering
know.
you. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, my mom was with me
Yeah.
the first time that I played the song. You guys played the song, and we were freaking out. I hadn't processed it until like that exact moment that it happened. I
Mm.
couldn't like I didn't really know what to think about it or like how to think about it. Um, and then when it happened, yeah, it was surreal. It was something that I've always kind of like manifested and thought about in the back of my head, because I've been a huge fan of the station, but not something that you ever think is gonna happen or come to fruition. So it was great, and
That's
I really
awesome.
appreciate the support.
That's awesome. It's so dope to see this build like organically. To know that you know your story and to have known you for a while and see you working with people like Karina, you know, and Tussie is really dope. Like you're really in good hands, and you know it's just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and more opportunities are gonna continue coming your way. I didn't ask this when we first kicked it off, but you know, you go by Sophia RB.
Mhm.
What does the RB stand for?
Everybody asks me that. It's a funny story. Well, it's my two last names.
Gotcha.
Because I have a really long last name, like a really long Hispanic last name.
Word.
But when I was like 8, I was like at a sleepover and we were like doing like I was a type of I was a girl at the sleepover that would like be like, let's sing a song,
Yeah,
let's
gotcha.
perform for our, whatever. So I was like, let's come up with stage names. That would be something fun to do. And I came up with Sophia RB, and I remember it just stuck. Ever since then, I've just gone by it. My Instagram handles has always been that. People at school would like just call me Sophia RB sometimes, so I would just stuck, and I think it works.
Word. Word. Yeah. Okay. I like that. That's what's up. Now we were talking earlier. You're currently working on some more music. Can you like talk a little bit about it, or you want to keep it a secret,
Yeah,
or
I mean, the exciting part about starting out right now is that I get to experiment a lot with what I want to do. I love genre blending. R&B, I want to kind of experiment a lot with like alternative R&B and just like adding different layers to it, a lot of instrumentation. I want to do more collabs with local artists that I think are dope. So it's definitely in the works right now. It's a lot about writing and condensing, but you should definitely look forward to it very soon. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of riding on the Missing You wave. We're getting some visuals done, so I'm really excited for that.
hey, love visuals, visuals, visuals. So yeah, you guys can stream the song. You can also request it on 99.7 now. Missing You from Sophia RB.
Yes,
I
sir.
want to give you a chance to, show some love or, give any shout outs to a few people that you want to show some love to in this interview that you've worked with or you plan on working with or whatever you want to get off your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a shout out to everyone at 997 for opening the doors, being so welcoming. It's been great just getting to know everybody. The support has been insane. I want to give a shout out to Karina and everyone at Studio X. Zuko, he mixed and engineered the song. TJ Nautico, he produced it all the way in South Africa. And Karina, of course, you've always been a huge inspiration. And yeah, everyone that has showed up, listened, showed up to the shows, that's going to keep supporting. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you like the new EP. I hope
There
it's.
you go. Slid that in there. Slid that in there really quick. I look forward to watching you continue to grow.
Thank you so much.
I look forward to seeing what this year brings to you. I do this thing called the Big Reid Pick 10. I don't know if you've seen the post of the other
Yes.
artists I've been highlighting and stuff like that. You didn't know this, but you're one of the artists I'm about to highlight
Oh my God, thank you so much.
on my social media feeds, and I've mentioned that to Tussie as well. And I just think this year is gonna be really big for you, and I feel like more people are gonna catch on to the wave, and it's just gonna keep growing and growing and growing. And when everything does go as crazy as it's gonna go, don't forget about your boy. Pull up on me.
Never, never that,
Pull up
never
on
that.
me. Don't-
99.7 day one.
Right?
You
You
heard it
feel
here.
me? Yeah, and let them know where they can follow you at online so they can get in contact and follow you and check out the music and everything you got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Sophia RB on Instagram, Sophia RB on all streaming platforms, Sophia RB on TikTok. Yeah,
Hell yeah. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, homie.
of course. Thank you so much.
Yay!
Woo!